Greek. Ethnic Greek.
Well, yes.
Mom, dad. Well, dad is Greek, of course, but mom?
Father is Greek, mother is Russian.
How many years have you lived in Russia?
From the age of 8.
Since age of 8. Wouldn't be better in Greece?
I moved when I was little.
Understood. Do your parents still live together?
No, my mother is in Russia.
Yeah, dad went to Greece.
He stayed there.
Do you communicate with him?
Rarely, but communicated.
Rarely, but communicated.
Yes.
Understood. Last and first name, year of birth.
My-
This is classified information. You don't need it. Konstantin Sergeyevich. Yes?
Yes.
Did you come for the second time?
Yes, second time.
Last name, year of birth. This is classified information. You don't need it.
87th years of birth from Astrakhan.
From Astrakhan.
Yes.
First time in captivity.
Yes.
And the last one?
Of course, the last one.
Sure?
Yes.
Guys, do you understand that this is for the YouTube recording?
Yes, I see. Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
I have
yes.
the most questions for Konstantin Sergeyevich. Does he agree? Because you yourself volunteered and I called you myself. Why did I call? Because for the second time in captivity. There are a few such cases.
Yes.
You can quickly tell your story. I won't ask you any more questions. Just tell me what it was like.
Tell how
what?
it turned out.
The first time when they took you to fight.
In October 3,
2022?
2022.
So, and before that, what did you do?
I was at checkpoints.
Have you been fighting since 2014?
No, from the 2022 mobilization.
And before that, before mobilization, what did you do?
Worked
Where?
in electrical networks.
In electrical networks, yes. What were you doing before 2014?
Worked?
Right there?
Yes.
Has anything changed after 2014 for the better, for the worse?
Don't know, I don't know anything.
Do you know anything?
No.
Understood. Has anything changed in 2022?
Somehow.
Well, for example, you were sent to fight, right?
Yes.
Why were you sent to fight?
Well, in my opinion, mobilization was coming.
I understand. What about mobilization? Someone attacked you, are you mobilized?
Well, no, at first everyone told us that they were going to our training camp.
Uh-huh.
It turned out not to be
It
for
turned out
training
not
camp.
be for the training camp. And where did they take you?
Well, to Kherson.
To Kherson. So why Kherson?
Don't know.
Well, they told you that you were like being released, right?
Well, something like that.
What does Kherson have to do with this?
Well, I don't know if something was sent, it was taken there.
And how long did you fight in Kherson?
Well, it turns out until October.
Until October. How many months is this in total? How many months? Well, how many months did you spend fighting there?
Well, from February to October.
From February to October. What happened?
Well, how... we stood at roadblocks.
At roadblocks. Okay. Combats. Did any fighting take place?
Well, where we stood, there was nothing.
Was there nothing? There was nothing. What department do you have?
It was 125th.
Sorry?
Well, the 125th Regiment.
125th Regiment. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And how did you get captured? First time.
Well, then, we Russians were taken prisoners there. We were kind of at a military construction site. There it turns out that there was an offensive. We left for the first time. We were not allowed to return.
Okay.
And it turns out then we started to leave. We shouted, well, I'm behind them, well, in the combat zone. I fell while I got up. I ran in and went out along the forest belt. There was no one there anymore. I stood and stood. I decided to move on, search. Well, remember there There were roadblocks. Left. Well, I just found the building there. We were there, well, as we were before the Russians stood. We spent the night there for us to land, and then I started to get ready, and as I hear from behind, come out, raise your hands and come out, I went out. We were captured.
Understood. What about the rest of yours who were with you? How many people were there?
Well, from ours was... I don't know.
What happened to them?
I don't know.
Were they captured too? Don't know? Fine. You arrived, you were captured. Where were you in captivity? Were you at the camp?
No, in Kryvyi Rog, in a pretrial detention center.
A pretrial detention center, understood. And they took you straight from there?
Yes.
Pretty quick, as I understand. How long did you stay?
3 months.
3 months. Quite fast for your region. So, you're coming back. You should be released. One should say that's it. Go and continue with your electricity stuff, or what?
Well, they took me there. They brought me to some city to prepare for a medical commission. I was preparing there, and then it turns out they told me that they had discharged me. I was told that, they didn't tell me how. Questions were asked. I did come to my tents. It turns out that I remained in the unit. I said, when I got a commission, they let me in.
In short, the commission told you that everything is fine with you and they send you back to the unit.
I was also on the commission, should have gone to the commission. Somehow they left me in.
But didn't pass. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Someone said they would write it off.
And so they send you, nobody wrote you off, you're sent to fight again, right?
It turns out a year, it turns out to be almost a year, was in the rear.
You was in the rear for almost a year, but in a unit?
Yes.
Okay.
Didn't go anywhere to combat positions.
I understand. A year has passed, what has changed?
Then, sat 2 months on the front line, on duty, stored the products. And then we have it there. It turns out all this created assaults. There are few people left. We were gathered and they took us to the training ground. That's all of us. About 8 people were sent. I said, no way. What I can do, they insisted. I agreed. They said it didn't matter.
You said you can. They send you anyway, right? Logical. Everyone is sent, as I understand it, crooked, oblique, lame.
Yes, there is such a thing.
Everyone.
Yes, everyone.
Everyone. Understood. There are no people left. They need to send everyone. Send further. Where were you sent?
Near Krasnogorovka.
Near Krasnogorovka. Maybe. What was there?
There they said nothing. We were driving vehicles. We reached some kind of forest belt there. It didn't work twice. Third time, we were transported in compartments. We came in. We were told there, just come in, dig in. They said there was no one there. It turns out, came in for the first time. There was such a dugout. We have 4 people. And then it turns out that they have still approached us. There was no enough space. One went to look for more. He went. It turns out there were 3 there, Ukrainians.
Uh-huh.
It turns out they were captured once a day, somewhere in the evening. They transmitted it. The second one is the same, and the third one remained, and it turns out the one who took, I took the radios and this charging station. He didn't answer the radio. Ukrainians.
Well,
We realized that something was wrong there. Then the drone flew in and said that we must surrender. They threw incinerators.
Well,
He says if you give up...
did you all three give up? Were the three of you there?
Two.
Two?
Two. No matter how two, one didn't want to.
One did not want to give up. What did he do?
Left.
Gone. Where?
To his place somewhere.
Have you both given up?
Yes, it turns out I didn't want to. It turns out they were checking. It turns out that the two of them were meant to be. They just didn't know what he didn't want to. And the one who was with me pulled me. With himself, he just didn't want to give up.
Have you been captured for the second time? What are you fighting for?
I didn't want to fight at all. I tried once to be laid off.
It's clear, but they didn't lay you off. Did you call home? Do they know that you're in captivity?
Well, it turns out I have a sister. It turns out they say there was something wrong with my sister.
Okay, again, last name, first name. Mobilized?
No.
Contract.
Signed for conscript service.
Oh, in military service. How old are you now?
20.
20 now. How much did you fight?
Not even a month has passed.
A month hasn't passed. Why? What was your motive for signing the contract?
There was a good subsidy at the training center, not far from home. They said that I would serve and receive the same 40,000. Will receive 195 immediately. Well, vacation in a month.
Okay.
For 20 or more days.
Okay.
That's all. We like the idea. Young ones, we decided to sign out of
Are
trust.
there many people like you signed?
They signed. It was at the training center 4. I was 5th.
Are there any more fools?
No.
Do you think I'm right when I talk about fools, or is it wrong?
Yes.
It is natural.
Yes.
It is fair to call
Yes.
you that. Or is it still soft?
I think it's soft.
Is it still soft? Tell me how you fought.
It turns out how my story turned out. I was still at the training center for 4 months. From there, they gave me a travel document to Rostov. They said I would train people there to use infantry fighting vehicles, the same conscript supposedly. Upon arrival in Rostov, exactly an hour later, I was sitting in the truck. They told me that we were already going to the territory of Ukraine. We arrived in the Donetsk region. It turns out that on the 10th, August 10th, on August 14, I was already in Krasny Luch, in Lugansk region. Until April. I mean, I didn't do any of that stuff. I was on guard duty. Here the regiment was disbanded. We were transferred. I ended up in Volgograd. And from Volgograd in July we were taken back to the territory of Ukraine. It turns out that the direction was to Bakhmut. Bakhmut direction. Toward the end of July we were already in Bakhmut. From there we were transferred to another regiment. It turns out that the date is August 20th and the 22nd I was already captured. The drones was leading us to the position.
The drone was leading you to the position?
Yes. On the 21st I was already sitting in the forest belt. No water, nothing. They asked for water. I met with my partner. With an ally of my own. With me who was in Volgograd. He lost his partner, I lost mine too. Throughout the day we asked for water. We were told that there was strong wind, that they will take us to the alleys in the evening. In the evening we went to the alleys and in the end we were led straight to the soldiers on your side.
So what is this? Were those your spies or what? They brought you or did someone just make a mistake?
No idea, we were brought to the position, we were told right there to the right. We turned around, we fell right into their hands, so to speak.
How did the meeting happen?
It turns out that I watched 2 people have already pointed their machine guns at us. Alone without armor, without anything. He came up to us just to talk. Well, it was already clear.
Didn't you set the machine gun?
No.
Why, didn't you have time?
Why?
Don't know, you went to war?
First of all, we didn't know who it was.
You went to fight the war.
Secondly, well, we didn't really want to fight, not of my own free will, not for my own reasons. I was going there.
You went? Well, if not for your own reason, you went to earn money, if I understood everything correctly.
Work. Exactly the same in the training center, just as I thought. They said that we were not leaving the training center. That is not to the territory of Ukraine.
Uh-huh.
This was the reason.
Did you think you were going to work?
Yes, with conscripts.
Got it. Well then, how do you like it? Did you like it?
Where exactly? In Bakhmut? At war? No, it's not mine.
Did you see the dead or wounded?
Yes. Yes.
Why did these people die?
Don't know. Everyone probably had their own goal, their own motive in their head. Someone for money, someone maybe... I was just going to work. Maybe it's the same for someone.
Was going to work.
Someone was
Fine.
promised something.
So let's see. Someone answered. Someone. You never even received a message delivered to you, but so far no one is answering. Vasily, your situation.
Well, as it happened, I had a fight with my relatives, my wife and my mother. On this basis, I just started drinking and signed it while drunk. What did they promise us?
Did you live with relatives or with your wife?
With my wife. Well, my wife and I went on shift, and I was with the children. For 3 months, I seemed unable to stand it, started drinking, and then had a fight with my wife. As a result, she took the keys from the apartment, and I was left on the street.
You couldn't get into your own apartment?
Yes.
Climb through the window, break the door? Call the one who opened the door? No?
On this basis, I start drinking. That's how I signed it.
Did you go to a friend somewhere to drink?
What?
Went
Yes,
to see
friends
friends
are like
for a
that.
drink?
When there is money, it's normal. When there is no money, there are never friends.
Well, there are such friends.
And as if because unnecessary on all sides, I quarreled with my mother and my wife. I also had a fight with my daughter. My daughter from my first marriage lives with me and
How old?
lives with her mother. 16 will be in January. And it was on this basis that I signed.
Quarreled with everyone and became useless to
Yes.
anyone. There was no work?
There was work. I just started drinking because of this.
Understood. And you signed the contract.
Yes.
So what were you thinking? Like you're going to go and let them kill
It
you
was like
or
no
what?
one needed, as they say. It was like that.
Did you have some kind of ideological spirit?
No, there was no ideological issue at all.
Well, they tell you on TV that you're at war with NATO, with Nazis and all
Yes, that's what they say. There is no point in this. When they say one thing, but you see something completely different, there's no point, I think.
that. And where did you go?
At first, it's, what's its name? In the Sevastopol territory, there was training for 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, we were thrown near Lugansk, 13th of July. We were there for 3 weeks too. After 3 weeks, we were assembled. There were 10 people there. They threw us to Bakhmut. And that's it, 3 days in Bakhmut. On the third or first day, we were sent in tows to the position. They said we would have to get to the position, dig and just sit and watch and transmit. Because each of us, my partner and I, had a walkie-talkie. In short, just sit and observe the situation. We walked in broad daylight and passed Klishevka. What's its name that brought us to the railway? I keep forgetting the name.
Conductor.
Yes, conductor. After the railway near Klishevka, there was a drone flying there. Here the drone was driving. We passed Klishevka in broad daylight. In short, there was no reset for us, nothing worked. We entered the forest belt and passed through. Then we walked through the field. We reached the field, it was early evening, we were told to rest. We got up at night, 2 of us got up. There was a moon across the field, we walked, I walked first. Together, it starts with a forest replanting. There is a forest in front of us on the left side. The F6 machine gun and the machine gun are probably starting to shoot at me. I just managed to lie down on the ground, that's all. They tell us on the radio that they are our own.
Did your own people
Yes,
shoot at
like,
you?
well, as if they were shooting at their own people. About 5 minutes later, I got up, no one started shooting. I reached the forest replanning
Who
area.
told you that your own people were shooting at you? Was it transmitted
By
by
radio.
radio? Were there
Yes,
two
two
of
of
you?
us. I lay under the tree for 2 days. Well, I heard voices, well, in a forest replanting.
What about the walkie-talkie?
What?
Walkie-talkie. Well, why did you lie there for 2 days? Couldn't you tell them on the
Well,
radio?
the radio didn't say to stay there.
Understand.
I never heard from my partner, but I understand that he didn't get there. Maybe he rolled back. And that's it. For 2 days I said there is no water. I called for water. Here on the second day in the evening I just heard voices. And the next day I say there are voices on my right side. Well, he say these are his own. I say, can I have some water? He says, a drone flew up to you to see where you are in position. I asked for water, the drone crashed and such excuses. And then on the third day he says, I should leave. Our own people about 100 meters from you in the forest belt. I didn't wear a helmet or armor. I say, what the point? I say, now the machine gun is hitting the sides. I put on my backpack and walked. I was told that there would be a person there with the call sign cabin. I say, guys, we have our own cabin. I say, that's the call sign, that's all. They also answered me in Russian. I arrived and was met by the man who shot at me with a machine gun. My machine gun had the safety one. I didn't have any grenades with me.
Have you seen Nazis or NATO members?
No.
Well,
I
they
didn't
tell
see.
you on TV that NATO members are with the Nazis.
Well, they tell a lot of things there. They tell a lot.
Whose balls were cut off, by the way? Kostya. I look at you. In any case, something was cut off for you.
No.
No? Was nothing cut off twice in captivity? Craziness. Maybe you can say that they cut off balls and heads here. All that. Understood. Good day, my name is Vladimir, a journalist from Ukraine. Your husband, was it your wife we called? He is in captivity. You know about this, right? Did you already know about this, or did I just tell you now?
Yes,
What?
we knew.
You knew, yes? How did you know?
With Telegram.
Did you see the video?
Yes, I saw it.
Understood. Will you talk to him?
Yes, if possible.
Well, we're having a conversation on the record of publication. Speak, speak. Then let me ask you one more question.
Hello, Vasya. How are you? I have a question. Did the Ukrainian side put you on paperwork, or is that a lie? I just heard this information.
Well, they say that they are exhibiting there in Russia and sending documents. This is necessary for Russia to confirm that I am in captivity.
It was confirmed in Russia. They gave me a document stating that you have been missing
Until the
since
paper
August 1st.
confirmed that I am in captivity, they will not make an exchange. This is already 100% information.
Give me. I'll ask, I can't stand it. What's your name?
My name is Julia.
Julia, look, we have such a resource I want to find in Ukraine. So first of all, he's included there. You can officially go in, make a request, and they will give you the answer that yes, he is in captivity. First. Second, I'm showing him now, that is, I'm telling you contact him.
Thanks a lot.
What comes out of all this? Is Ukraine ready to give it up at all or not? Or are we hiding him here?
No, I see that you're making contact. I trust you to keep him well. I see his condition, that he is fine, that everything is fine.
We want to give him away, right? We want to give him back. And on your side, he is still listed as missing. So who...
I was recently given a piece of paper that he was missing, and they told me to go to FSB to show the video that I saw that he was in captivity. And I have to show this video. They have to do something there, I don't know. This is Russia. I don't know how all this is done. I don't know how fast it will all be, but I'm doing my best to make it all faster.
Do you know my channel?
What?
Do you know my channel? Do you know my channel?
No.
No? Look, my last name is Zolkin. Zolkin is my last name. Look on YouTube. Does YouTube work for you at all?
No, it doesn't work.
Well, download VPN then. Then download the VPN, go. So watch my channel. There will be a video with him on my channel. You can show the FSB officers. And say that this is my husband, he is not missing, he is in captivity. Let's pick him up. Why did you even send him to war?
To be honest, I didn't send him. It is true, I tried to convince him by hook or by crook that he shouldn't go there. He just... how to say... we quarreled, let's say so. Apparently, somehow... he took it and signed the contract out of emotion. Well, we had a fight. And he's emotional, he can sign something like this out of emotion. He didn't want to go there 100%, he just gets emotional.
Do you understand that neither you nor your children might ever see him again?
I understand that, I understand everything. I can't do anything about it. I wasn't there at that moment. I was in Moscow and was leaving. Then I arrived and I never saw him. I wouldn't let him go anywhere. It happened that way.
Understood. We'll say bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.
Why did Russia attack Ukraine?
They say that it's kind of liberating, as it is said everywhere. Most.
You should have freed people like Kostya. Kostya from the Donetsk region, right? Kostya went to free someone in Kherson region. Who should release whom and why? Explain to me, please.
Honestly, I don't know.
Well, how do you understand this?
They basically say here that that's when I signed the contract. In general, when I got near Lugansk, they shouted to us that we would be on the third line, in short, not on the first. Well, where there is nothing, there is only one minefield
Well, that's
there.
understandable.
There is no shooting battle, there is nothing like that. This is the only thing we were told. The fact that Ukrainians really don't have anything to do with it is that they are fighting purely like NATO
Have
and
you
the
seen
Americans.
a lot of NATO members or
That's all.
Americans?
No, but
From
the
your
only
side?
thing I saw were foreigners. Yes, 22 people.
From which country?
Oh, we didn't really communicate with them there. We were not allowed to communicate with them, they were separate.
But this is a different story, but they also don't really understand where they came from.
Well, yes, they were promised apartment there and citizenship. That's what we heard, I just heard.
Yes. This is true. You're all being deceived. Okay, you went voluntarily. By deceiving you, are you at all... What do you tell? What you will do? Will you go a third time?
No.
No? How can it not? You'll be back for the third time now, but will you go
No,
again?
I won't go.
Won't you go? What will you do?
Work. Trying to get laid off.
Try. Well, you tried it the first time. This will happen a third time. Well, that's the thing. Such is fate. It's okay, happens. Don't you think you're fighting so that your president... for your president's dreams of seizing the territory of Ukraine?
Well, it turns out that way.
It still comes out. Well, at least it turns out. Alexander, do you need the territory of Ukraine? Bakhmut maybe really need it. Or what? No?
A quiet life is all.
Do you realize that you could already...
Yes. I realized this when I also slept near the trees.
Where did you sleep near the trees?
Well, near the forest plantation. When everything buzzes, everything flies, explodes.
Will you go a second time? Now they will return you home.
I believe that, well, I personally don't, even if they force me.
How with this? You signed the contract.
I will stand my ground.
Which ground? On his own.
Well, that's over with. Let them do what they want, but I think that I have the power to terminate this contract.
I don't know. I don't know if it's valid or not. Let's see. Why was your YouTube blocked in Russia?
No, I can't now.
Any thoughts?
No.
And you?
Well, so as not to see the truth.
Imagine how difficult it is.
I didn't watch the news, so I don't know. I don't follow the news at all.
I just saw it on YouTube. Also, military man, he came out and told the truth. 2 days later, his channel was blocked. I was at the training ground.
Yesterday, the mothers of your mobilized came out. What would... Oh, no, the mothers of the conscripts came out.
On a picket?
Yes, to the picket. All of them were arrested, and they took them to the FSB. Good afternoon, my name is Vladimir, a journalist from Ukraine. Your son is in captivity.
It's a little hard to hear you.
I say my name is Vladimir, I'm a journalist from Ukraine. Your son is in captivity.
Yes, in captivity, I understood.
Did you already know that he was in captivity, or did you just find out now?
Yes, but I didn't know where.
Where?
Messages from those who captured him.
Got it, okay. So, what are you going to take him home?
Naturally.
Naturally, how?
Well, how do they take one? Either an exchange in Russia or Greece will agree.
Greece? Is he a Greek citizen?
He is a Greek citizen.
Oh, he has dual citizenship.
Yes,
Yes? Will you talk to him?
certainly.
Our conversation is being recorded and published. Speak. Let me ask, please. Explain this strategy. How is his dad trying to take him away from Greece?
How he is trying? The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is trying to reach an agreement. Well, how do they agree?
Well, I don't know, but did you go to the military commissar, to the Ministry of Assault somewhere?
Military commissar?
Yes.
Well, they told me when they took him away to contact the unit commander and report that he was with him. I
Yes.
applied. I work from 8 to 8 every day, so I don't have much time to go. If no one told you, here I always work alone 7 days a week. I can't go anywhere. I have been arrested here for 6 years already, so at my job.
Okay.
I'm writing an appeal.
So was he included in the list of prisoners of war or not?
What?
Was he included in the list of prisoners of war or not?
I don't know, they are not published.
Oh, and they publish it here. And we publish list of prisoners of war. Here we are calling you. The soldiers have already written, now we are calling. What do we need to do to get him back to Russia?
Well, probably just give him away and that's all.
So ready to give, take it, give us our fighter.
No, well, when the exchange happens, just turn it on and that's it.
But how will it be if he hasn't even been included in yet, on your part?
Now listen, well, they included, but they didn't include the information was received, which means it should have been included.
Yes, oh well. I'll tell you a secret that if you don't seek his return, he won't be returned. Greece has nothing to do with it. Greece did not attack us. Russia attacked us. We are with Greece. We have no conflicts. We are friends. Everything is fine. But only he came here with weapons from the Russian side.
Well, that's how it happened.
It happened.
This happened because he lived in Russia at that time and joined the army in Russia. He was called up as a citizen of Russia, that's why it happened.
Why did Russia attack Ukraine at all?
Listen, please, don't ask me these questions. I beg you very much. Don't ask me these questions.
Well, I get it. Fine, say bye-bye, and I don't know what else I can ask here.
Bye, mommy.
A country where people are afraid to just talk. Who and from what can you free? Please tell me.
I don't know, honestly.
Would you free yourself maybe somehow, no? Okay, I'll tell you honestly. I was most interested in talking to Kostya. I took you as an addition, as you saw. But Kostya is not very talkative guy, right? Modest.
Yes.
Now they will return him back, he will come here for the third time, like all his liberated fellow countrymen, yes? Here you go. Well, thanks for the conversation.